going to be breaking down Saturn worship and how the occult are linked in with Saturn. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the celebrities. All these celebrities are doing 666. Okay, covering the one eye, which also symbolizes the all-seeing eye, which is another occult symbol. But we're focusing on the 666, the 6 with the 3 fingers. Also, we have CERN with the 666 within their logo. Also Disney, okay, as you can see here, 666 within their logo. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and even Cadbury's. Monster Energy with the 666 in Hebrew numerals. Unleash the beast. So what is 666 to do with Saturn? Because on Saturn, there is on the north pole of Saturn, there is a 6-sided hexagon, okay? So Saturday is named after Saturn Day, the 6th planet. It is also the 6th day of the week, and has a 6-sided polygon on its north pole, 666. Not only that, when you create a star out of the hexagon, you will create a 6-pointed star, okay, with 6 triangles within the star, and a 6-sided hexagon, which all adds up to 666. Okay, so this is why all these symbols contain 666. So why do they worship 666? Saturn. Because Saturn is the god of time and death, okay, and order and lessons. Okay, Saturn is a very cold and dry being. That is the 6th planet from the sun. Okay, Saturn represents the winter, which symbolizes death. Okay, because all nature dies within winter because the sun's not there. So it represents darkness and death. It rules the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Okay, so in the celestial cycle, Saturn is always opposite the sun. So it's the opposite of the sun. So they're worshipping this energy which is death-like. Okay, this god which is death and does not bring life. Okay, and also is the god of time. Okay, also in the Roman and in Greek it's called Chronos. Okay, which is just a translation for time. It's also known as the Father Time, aka the Grim Reaper. Okay, the Grim Reaper, keep that in mind, we'll come back to this. Here are some more logos with Saturn, okay, NAG, Internet, Wi-Fi, okay, all these occult logos all worship Saturn. They are satanic occult. They worship this death god, this evil god, okay. This is where the cube now comes in, okay, because what colour is associated with Saturn? It's black, because it's the absence of light, it's opposite the sun. So black is the colour associated with Saturn. Each planet has its own colour associated with it. Okay, so when you make the cube, okay, as you can see here, the cube out of the polygon, it creates what? A black cube. Okay, and the Kabbalah, okay, Kabbalah means cube, Allah means the god, the cube god. These religions are secretly worshipping this cube god, the god of death, Saturn, Satan. It's the same entity behind it all. Okay, so also we have these black cubes in Australia, Denmark, all around the world, these black cubes, because this occult is worldwide. Saturn, Satan taking over this realm. Okay, also with this black cube, they walk around it like the rings of Saturn. It's around the black cube of Saturn with the rings, they walk around in circles. What are circles? Cycles. What is a cycle? Time. The time god. This is why it has a ring around it, because it represents time, cycles. Okay, and this is another depiction, Saturn, always depicted with this Reaper staff. Okay, keep in mind this staff, just like we associated with aka the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper also wears a black robe, representing Saturn with the same staff. Can you see it? This is where it comes in. Okay? The same thing, look, the same staff with the black robe, black representing Saturn, the god of death. Okay, the Grim Reaper, Satan. Okay. Also, when you graduate from university, what do? You wear a cube on your head, a black cube with a black robe. This is Saturn worship. See, this is how Satan has tricked the world into worshipping him, not God, the sun, which represents God. So what is a corona? Because a corona is a crown, a circle, okay? A set of concentric circles of light seen around a luminous body. So Saturn, so this is why they used to worship Saturn by wearing crowns in ancient days, and we still do to this day. The king or queen has a crown, a corona. Also, corona, the drink. Corona adds up to 666, just like Saturn is 666. But like you see in the corona, you see the staff. You see this staff, just like the staff of Saturn, the Saturn god, like the Grim Reaper, with the black robe and the staff, just like the Saturn god. What is the Grim Reaper? It's a killer, it represents death, just like Saturn, the god of death and time. So all these occults and secret societies all worship the 666 god, which is Saturn, Satan. All of our energy is being put into Saturn, okay? And Saturn, Satan, is harnessing all of this energy. So gradually, this is what the mark of the beast is. Like it says in the Bible, the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast. Here is wisdom. Let it know that you have to understand and count the number of the beast, for it is 6. It is the number 6 of a man, and is 600, 666, 666. So this is what the mark of the beast is. They are going to eventually put green chips, just like Neuralink, which is what Elon Musk is pushing. Okay, so this chip is the mark of the beast, and it's going to be implanted to our hands or brains. Okay, and they will manipulate our consciousness, and it will manipulate our DNA, and it will directly connect us to AI, and AI is linked in with Saturn, Satan, as the demons and the people who rule this world are in love with AI. They want to connect humans to AI, and this will control our consciousness completely and give all of our energy back to Saturn, Satan, this deity that they all worship. Just like when you get married, you wear a wedding ring, the rings of Saturn, over the finger, which represents the sun. So you're basically seeing Saturn over the sun. The sun is the son of God. It represents the sun, represents God. So you are putting Saturn over the sun. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm going to leave you guys here. Please leave a like, comment some topics that you want me to talk about, and please subscribe for more amazing content. God bless.
Left and right hemisphere, and what are they doing? How does it contribute towards your perception in this world? And this is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We're going to be breaking down the two hemispheres of the brain and how they function in your life. So first, we have the left hemisphere. This is the logical hemisphere. This is the analytical, divided, scientific, or verbal hemisphere. The right hemisphere is creative, wholeness, artistic, symbolic, and metaphorical. The right hemisphere does with non-verbal things. It produces a holistic perception. It is more to do with creativity. Because what you must understand is that we are not in the external world. The world is produced by our brain. We see with our brain. Our eyes are a part of the brain. What we touch is the brain's interpretation of electrical signals on the nervous system. What we smell is the brain's interpretation of smell through the nose. What you taste is your brain's interpretation of chemical reactions on your taste buds. So what you are experiencing is the brain. The brain is a computer creating a simulation. And you have two hemispheres which breaks down this reality. So essentially the brain is the perception creator. It creates perception. So if the brain is creating this, who is the one experiencing the brain? Well, that is you, the consciousness, the mind, the all-seeing eye. You are the all-seeing eye experiencing the brain, the observer behind the brain, behind reality, behind the emotions. So if you're walking through a woods, this left brain sees individual trees. The right brain sees the whole woods. It sees the biome. It sees the bigger picture. So when you are walking through this woods, the right brain picks up a holistic perception of reality. It creates the woods as one unified woods. The left brain's job is to break this down and analyze it so that we can see individual things. And this is also necessary for humans to have the ability to break things down and manipulate things in this world. So without this left hemisphere, we could not manipulate things and break things down. So this right hemisphere is important because it sees the whole woods. It sees humanity as one unified consciousness. However, the left hemisphere sees individual egos. So the left hemisphere is the place of the ego because it only understands, it sees the world very divided. Okay? So for example, here's another example of the left and right hemisphere. If someone pulls out in front of you in traffic, your left brain is going to start going crazy and analyzing them, calling them names. The right hemisphere, however, sees the bigger picture. Maybe he didn't see you. Maybe it's just a mistake. Maybe he's in a rush. You see how the two brains are very different. They do the same thing, but they function in different ways. The right hemisphere is feminine, the left hemisphere is masculine. So, like I said, this person pulls out in front of you, you start to think with the left. If you start to perceive that in the left brain, you're going to start analyzing them, you're going to start going crazy and calling them names because you're analyzing it. You're not seeing the bigger picture behind it. You're not seeing it from his perspective. So there is a crossover. So the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body, the right ear, the right eye. Everything to do with the right side of the body is connected to the left hemisphere, and the right hemisphere controls everything on the left side of the body, including your eyes, your arms, your legs. So everything is crossed over, and even your visual field is crossed over. So this is your visual field, as you can see here, and even the left side of your visual field goes to the right brain. There's a crossover. No one really knows. There's not really a reason for this. However, this is how the human body is designed. As we all know, the human body is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. They cannot replicate the human body. And they tell you it has no creator. This is crazy. People are that brainwashed, they can't even understand that their body is the most advanced piece of technology. Your body is so advanced, the computers that you use are mimicked of the body. Everything they create is mimicking nature, but they don't show you how intelligent nature is because they don't want you to understand you're in an intelligent design. So anyways, let's get back on track. there is a crossover in the brain, and this is why they teach you to write with your right hand. And I was speaking to someone who's in a nunnery, or whatever you want to call it. They were a nun, or they knew someone who was who was a nun, and they forced these people, these nuns, to write with their right hand. You had to write with your right hand. This is why, I'd say at least 70% of the world, or 80%, is right-handed and right-legged, because they taught us this to activate the left hemisphere more, because of this crossover that happens in the body. So when we are using this right side more, we are using that left hemisphere more. Why? Why are they doing this? Well, they also called it writing. Writing is a spell, to cast a spell on you to use that right side of the body so that you use this left hemisphere, because they want you to see the world as a divided perception. They don't want you using the right hemisphere, using that left side of the body to activate the right hemisphere to see the bigger picture and see how everything is all one and everything is created. This left hemisphere domination keeps you from seeing the connections between everything, because that left hemisphere analyzes, it breaks things down. So when we are left hemisphere dominated by using the right side of the body, we are essentially seeing everything as divided. And this is why so many people will not understand my work, because my work connects dots and connects fields of knowledge, and makes you see the bigger picture. So people who are left hemisphere dominated will see my work and think this guy's crazy. But it's all about activating that right hemisphere. So they call it writing, because every word you say is molding your mind in some sort of way. The things you see is molding your mind. Everything you take in through the five senses is molding your mind. And language is a massive spell, especially the English language. They call it writing, so that you use that right side. It's a spell, because your subconscious mind picks up everything you say. And 90% of your daily basis behavior and thought patterns is produced by these subconscious programs within the subconscious mind. Essentially, your conscious mind is only the 10% of you. The conscious mind is just what you're aware of, what you're wearing, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. That's your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is controlling every system in your body. It's telling your heart to beat without you being conscious of it. So essentially, this is what they're programming. They're programming this system in the back of the mind, which is controlling everything through the words. And this is what spells are, because it's all about creating perception in the subconscious. So they want you to use that right side more. I truly believe the ancients, they were balanced. They used the left and the right side of the body. They didn't have a stronger side, because they understood this science of the body and how the body works. So this is actually called phonetics. It's not etymology. Etymology is the study of root words. Phonetics is the study of how words sound similar, the way words are spoken. So phonetics, phone, is why we call them a phone, because you speak into a phone. So this is write and writing, to use that right side to activate the left hemisphere more. So your hands are a manifestation of your brain. The left hand is the right brain, the right hand is the left brain. And as a child, we were always taught that when you place your hands together like this is the size of your brain, which is true, because your hands are a part of your brain. They're an extension of your brain. Every part of your body other than your brain is an extension of the brain. Everything's working and feeding back information to the brain, because you're experiencing the brain. So another trick that you can do, or another exercise, is looking in the mirror and closing one eye at a time. If you close your right eye, if you take your top off, for example, you'll analyze your body if you close your right eye, because you're using that left hemisphere. Sorry, other way around. If you look at yourself through your right eye, you'll use that left hemisphere, which will analyze yourself. You'll see individual body parts. If you close the right eye and use the left eye, you'll see your body as a whole. You won't really analyze it. This is how you can analyze yourself, using these two hemispheres. So this whole system is created to keep you thinking logically. And to restrict you from creating and restrict you from understanding symbolism, allegories, metaphors, and teamwork. They want you stuck in a logical way of thinking and a logical way of seeing the world. This is why when you go to school, you are told exactly what to do. You're told to think this way and no other way. You're told to do orders, do this. It's a very left-brained system. Because if we all started to open up this right hemisphere, we'd all see, wow, everything is all one, everything is all connected. And this is what my work is doing. I'm showing you everything is one. The physical world is an illusion of duality, but everything comes from the one source, the one mind. The universe is a giant mind. I am mind, you express mind. We all possess mind. Behind the physical body is the same mind consciousness. And we are all expressions and fractals of this infinite consciousness called mind. And this is what they don't want us to figure out, is that we are all just one consciousness expressed. It's an infinite consciousness. It's even in the squirrel, it's in the dog. All of these different animals, they're just different bodies, but behind the bodies is the same consciousness, which is mind. That's what the pineal gland is. The pineal gland is not the mind, and it's not the third eye. The third eye is your mind. If you have a closed third eye, it just means you have a closed mind. If you have an open third eye, it just means your mind has expanded from beyond physical things through astral projection and mystical experiences. This is how you gain an open third eye. It's just an open mind. A mind that has astral travel, that has explored the realities within the mind. So everything they do is to keep us in a divided state. Divide and conquer, right? That's their motto. All to keep you thinking how everything is divided. Everything they've done is division. Postcodes, countries, everything is divided. Like football teams and all this stuff. It's also a natural process when you grow up, because as you grow up, your brain is constantly analyzing the world. So this is sort of a natural process of how you become more left hemisphere dominated, because your brain is always analyzing. And unless something awakens you, you can awaken that right hemisphere where you can start to see the bigger picture. Even the music, it's all tuned to 440 hertz. It shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. 440 hertz, Spotify, Apple Music. The radio, every time you turn on the radio, it's tuned to 440 hertz. This was specifically tuned. It never used to be tuned to this. It was in the 1950s. It was changed. The standard music tuning was changed to 440 hertz because it shuts down that right hemisphere of the brain. They don't want you thinking, seeing the world in this way and perceiving things as one. And I'm going to show you. It tells you this in the Bible. Cast the net onto the right-hand side of the boat and you will find the fish. What was Jesus saying? This is, you see, people read the Bible and they don't understand it. If the Bible is not talking about you, then it has no meaning. The Bible, everything you read in the Bible is about you and how it can better your life. It occurs to you. So if Jesus says, cast the net onto the right-hand side of the boat, this is an allegory. The boat is your body. Cast the net, it's the awareness, the perception, onto the right hemisphere of the brain, and you will find the fish. What's fish? What do fish do? They swim deep in the ocean. It represents the knowledge. Deep knowledge. Cast the net onto the right-hand side of the boat and you will find fish. You will find the wisdom. You'll gain understanding when you cast that your awareness into that right hemisphere. You will see that I am you and you are me. We are all one consciousness. You will see everything. You'll see that the trees are the same patterns as the nerves in your body. You'll see everything is connected. Everything is a fractal of the one infinite consciousness. And how many fish did they catch? 153. That adds up to 9. This is now numerology. The Bible's filled with numerology. Adds up to 9. What's 9? Human consciousness. It represents consciousness. You're in the womb for 9 months. Feminine. It's all about consciousness. And in Revelation 14, And I looked, and behold, the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, that's the spine, it's the mountain. With him, 144,000. 144 adds up to 9. It represents consciousness on top of the spine. You see? And he had his name the name of his Father written on the forehead. What's the Father? The higher mind, the higher consciousness within you. Where is that? In the forehead, the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the radio receiver for the higher consciousness. Because every body part of the body has consciousness. Your heart has consciousness. Your gut has consciousness. You are thinking with these different consciousnesses. You think with the gut. You think with your penis. You are thinking with all these consciousness. And it's about raising your consciousness to the higher consciousness, which is the Father, the mind, in the head. Don't think with the lower parts of the body, because that is your animal nature. Think with the higher parts of the body. It's all representing consciousness. How to activate the right hemisphere of the brain? Well, it's all to do with non-verbal things. So music will activate the right hemisphere. Make sure it's tuned to the right frequency, though. 432 hertz, 528 hertz. Any frequency that adds up to 3, 6, or 9 is good for you. Meditation, turning off the thoughts, and you raise yourself to the higher brain. Symbolism. Symbolism is all right hemisphere. Reading between lines, metaphors, determining the Bible, it's all right hemisphered. Seeing the bigger picture, it's reading between the lines. So tithing in the Bible. These people in the churches are giving 10% of their money to the church. It's nothing but a scam. What these people have done is they have externalized the Bible. They have taken the Bible and literalized it, so that they can make a business out of it. So what they're doing is a tenth of the produce of what it says in the Bible, a tenth of the produce of the land, whether grain or fruit, is the Lord's and is holy. So what's that saying? The tenth of, it's basically saying give the 10% to the Lord, to God. What does that mean? Well, what's the land and the fruit? This represents physical things, the physical things that you have. The tenth of the physical things that you have, what's that? That's your ego. All the physical things that you have is all to do with your ego. That's the lower self. The ego, what is the ego? It's the mind's perception of the physical self. You had no ego when you were a child. Okay, when you were a child, you had no ego. As you grew older, you created the ego. But the ego is the full self. It's the echo. Ego, echo. It's the echo of the full self. So it's saying give the ego over. Take away the animal self. In that left hemisphere, that's all to do with the left hemisphere. That left hemisphere sees the ego. It sees individuality. It's divided. So it's saying give that 10%. Give that 10% of you over to the right hemisphere. The 90%. The 90% of you is in that right hemisphere. The higher self. Now, I'm not saying the left hemisphere is bad. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. But it sees things divided. It's like I said, the left, the hands are manifestations of the brain. So when these Christians are praying, they're putting their hands together. What are they doing? They're syncing the brain hemisphere is what you're doing, because everything's an extension of your brain. So if you put your hands together, you're putting the two hemispheres together. And what's happening when you place the hands together? All the electricity in the body is now running in a circuit. So once you connect these two hands, the electrical energy is now running in a circuit. And energy can move around the body quicker and more efficiently. So when you pray, when these people are praying, they don't realize they're engaging in ancient forms of meditation, of balancing the two hemispheres. Mm-hmm. So now we're talking about balancing the hemispheres, not the right hemisphere. This is what Israel is. Look at the symbol for Israel, the up triangle and the downward triangle. What's that? The up triangle represents male, the downward triangle represents female. Okay? This is talking about the brains. Israel is Ra, Isis, which is female, the Egyptian god, Ra, El. El means God. Electricity. That's the force of the physical world. It's the force that runs this world, electricity. It's the force of God. El, consciousness. It means God. Israel. Isis, Ra, and El. It's the two hemispheres of the brain, the holy land of Israel. It's the holy land, it's the brain. Once these two hemispheres are synced, this is how you unlock your consciousness. This is the easiest way of astral projecting. Hemisphering, I forgot the word for it. Hemisphere syncretization, something like that. It's about syncing the hemispheres. This is how you unlock your consciousness. Once the brain is running as one electrical system, this is how you balance the two masculine and male opposing energies. Once these opposing energies are no longer in war with each other, the brain, they come together to work as one. You unlock your consciousness. You are born again. What happens when a male and female have sex? It creates a new child. It becomes one. You are born again. Once the two hemispheres of the brain, you are born again. You can then have an out-of-body experiences. So this is why the symbol of the Holy Land, Israel, is the up and down triangle back combined together, because it represents unification of the male and female, unification of the hemispheres. You're born again. You unlock consciousness. And you can get this for free. It's called the Gateway Tapes on my website. Basically, it's a audio track from the government, and they did this in the Gateway Experience. It's a CIA document, and what they do is there are different forms of meditations you go through. I think there's about 5 waves of meditations you do, half an hour each one, and it will teach you. It will sync your hemisphere, because what does it do? They understood that playing one frequency into one ear and another frequency into the other. They understood that the right ear is connected to the left hemisphere, the left ear is connected to the right hemisphere. So when you play 2 different frequencies into both ears, what happens? The brain picks this up, the 2 hemispheres of the brain picks this up, and it syncs it. It syncs these 2 hemispheres, these 2 frequencies together. So now the brain is working as one to sync this frequency. So this is how you can sync your hemispheres, through listening to these frequencies. Okay, you can get them for free and do the meditations yourself. This will definitely help you. This is an easy way to astral project. So it's all about syncing the hemisphere and seeing reality from a unified perception. We should all aim to get out of that left hemisphere. I'm not saying don't use it, but we should now start to read between the lines of the Bible, read between the lines of the symbolism they're showing. Study symbolism, study allegories and myths. What are they trying to tell us through these allegories? And, this is how we start seeing things in a better way. Once we understand that we are all microcosms of an infinite consciousness, we can all come to one, because love is the unifying force of this infinite consciousness. We are all divided. We are all disconnected from our hearts. Once we all connect with our hearts and see that everything is one, we can all start to love and come together as one. Because love is the unifying force of consciousness. So, if you haven't already seen, I now have launched the Ethereal University. I will be doing lectures like this one, but even better, deeper, and even releasing knowledge that I can't talk about online, as they are censored. I'll be doing lectures every single week. I'll be doing live calls every single week. You also gain access to my library, which is filled with over 45 occult books, filled with knowledge. Okay, I'll show you now. Plus, you get my book, The Book of Wisdom, PDF form, and the Human Health Guide, PDF form. You also get all of this stuff, the health section, Q&As, ethereal meditations. We've got some celestial studies, cosmology, and numerology coming soon. You also get the brand new Manifestation Mastery course, plus the library. And there'll be new books, new lectures, new live calls every single week. or you can get the Book of Wisdom. Use the code WISDOM in all capital letters to gain 40% off. This sale will be ending very, very soon, so if you're watching this, be very quick to get yourself a physical version or a PDF of my book. You can get it in all these languages. Hope you enjoyed this video, people. I'll see you inside the Ethereal University, the real university. Have an amazing day. Neo is plugged in on the back of the neck, which is the reptilian brainstem. The reptilian brain is all to do with survival mode, survival state. It's always scanning the environment for safety, whether that's physically, emotionally, or mentally. It does not think. It is instant. For example, do I smack the guy or run off? If something happens to you, like a car's coming really quick to you, you do not think about this. The reptilian brain is the animal instinct that will instantly move your body on the instant reactions. Hence why it's the closest brain to the rest of the body. It has instant access to the electrical nervous system to control the body at instant reactions. Now, Neo is plugged in on the back of the neck, which is the reptilian brain. Therefore, the matrix is the body itself. It is the lowest state of consciousness. This is what it represents. The word matrix means womb. It translates to womb because your body is a womb. Your body is a vessel for universal consciousness, for God consciousness. And the body is also a womb where you can be born again outside of this body by raising your consciousness, by awakening the neocortex. This is why Neo is called Neo, because it represents the neocortex. This is the higher aspect of our brain. This is all to do with new things, higher reasoning, higher thinking, new learning. You see, the brain is a receiver for universal consciousness. Now, what do I mean? It is a radio receiver. Think of it like this. You have a radio tower which emits frequencies. And each little frequency, 00.1, 00.2, 00.3, each 00 point is a different person. We are all the same universal consciousness, encapsulated inside of a different vessel. This is why our body is the temple of God inside of the Bible. Your body is a sacred temple of the divine essence of the universe. However, consciousness is controlling this physical body. And I'll show you this diagram here. Consciousness consists of imagination, emotions, thought, and memory. All of these things are not physical. They're not made out of atoms. You cannot think with atoms. If I split open your brain while you are thinking of a cheesecake, I would not see a cheesecake. It's because these things exist metaphysically within consciousness. They are not physical. The body is physical. It's part of matter. It's part of time. You see the Leonardo da Vinci, the circle and the square. The square represents limitation, beginning and end. Because when you draw a square, there is a beginning and end. It represents the body, the mortal self, the ego, the echo. Then you have the spirit raised above, which represents spirit over matter, mind over matter. Invisible forces create physical forces. Everything physical exists in non-physical. This is also the Freemasonic square and compass, why the square is below the compass, because the compass creates the circle, which is spirit or mind. Then you have the square, which is matter. Mind and matter are the same substance. Mind creates matter through thought. Everything in this physical universe manifested through thought. Everything began as thought. So you are spirit and matter. You have a material body and a spiritual body. And you are right in the middle. This is why humans are very, very important. because we have an animal nature, the reptilian brain, and a higher consciousness, the neocortex. And we must awaken out of the matrix, which means womb, which is the body. And neo is waken up from the lower self, the reptilian brain, and moves into the neocortex. Because the brain is a radio receiver for consciousness. Now, what do I mean? I went over this before. Your consciousness is controlling the brain. The brain is a computer. And when our consciousness, our imagination, our emotion, our thoughts, and our memories are all contributing towards just survival things, food, safety, fear, all of these things, and our consciousness is locked into a survival state, we are using the reptilian brain. We're no longer thinking. You don't think with the brain, but the consciousness is thinking, which activates the different parts of the brain. When we think for higher reasoning, we use the neocortex. It stimulates the neocortex. When we think about survival, we're using the reptilian brain. So therefore, when Neo wakes up, he wakes up to the higher aspects of consciousness, which is only utilized by the neocortex, by learning new things and expansion of the mind and expansions of consciousness. Okay? So the whole matrix is to keep you designed, well, the whole matrix is designed to keep you in a survival state, in the three-dimensional awareness. They want you constantly scanning for safety, scanning for food, scanning for emotional safety in relationships and other people. You see, they do not want you to think. They want you stuck in that reptile, that animal state, that beastly state that most people are in. Most people, all they do is eat, listen to music, consume, have sex, lust, desire. This is all the reptilian brain. So when we say the world's being ran by reptilians, it's symbolic. There is no physical reptilian humanoid beings controlling, manipulating human consciousness. We are all the same consciousness. However, there is a corrupted state of consciousness running this world. And this consciousness worships the physical plane. And they control the physical plane. So by doing that, they keep you stuck in a reptilian way of thinking, the animal state, to keep you stuck in the lowest state of consciousness. Now this is the god Osiris, which represents the reptilian brain. None of the Egyptian gods ever existed. They are all symbolic for the brain and anatomy of the human body. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. As you can see, this anatomy compare to the brain stem and Osiris statue found in Egypt. And we also see an ancient artwork of Osiris with green skin and two reptile crocodile alligators next to him, which also symbolizes the reptilian survival state of human consciousness and the activation of the reptilian brain. This is what it symbolizes. Now, this is what the Matrix is all talking about. It's talking about the awakening, the expansion of consciousness. The word divine is dive in because you connect with the divine by diving inward. There is no man in the sky going to save you. You must connect with the self. Know thyself. Truth comes from within. All of these things I'm telling you comes from within you. I'm just pointing it out. All of this is self-realization. A lot of people say, well, what are my sources? My sources is knowing thyself, observing thyself, using the neocortex of critically thinking, sitting down and thinking about yourself and having deep realization of yourself. You can realize that your thoughts are not of this physical world. It's quite simple. The brain does not think. The brain does not imagine. The brain does not hold memory. All of these things exist in consciousness, the one consciousness, but we are all fractal, infinite parts of. This is the eye on the triangle, consciousness being given down to the rest. This is separate. Consciousness is separate from the rest of the pyramid. The pyramid is your body. Neo is the one consciousness. This is the Egyptians symbolizing the one consciousness giving Ankh, which is life, to all the different life forms. However, you can see that the central sphere is giving a big Ankh to the humans, because humans, like I said, possess the advanced consciousness, an advanced brain that allows us to turn above our reptilian animal self. For example, we can go against our reptilian lower animal nature and turn to our godly nature. Animals cannot do that. They are stuck in instinct. They are stuck in a reptilian animal way of thinking and operating. Everything they create is to survive. We can turn against our lower nature and create for amazing things like buildings, architecture, technology. We can use our creative consciousness for anything we wish, not just survival needs. And it's the same with your spiritual journey. You can raise your consciousness beyond this animal state that they try to keep you in through fear, consumption, food, and the reptilian brain. We must awaken, start to think critically, and awaken to our divinity, because the mind, the consciousness within you has infinite potential to expand. There are infinite fields of knowledge that you can explore. The mind can never be filled. It can never ever be full of knowledge. It always expands, and that's why you are alive. That's why you are part of this universe. That's why the science always says the universe is always expanding, because the universe exists in your mind, and the mind is always expanding into new fields of thought, new fields of knowledge and information. And that is your whole sole purpose, of expansion of mind and expansion of consciousness, and the exploration of the mind of God. We are living in the mind of God. You are a thought in the mind of God. You must awaken out of this body. This is why Jesus says you must be born again to see the kingdom of God. You must be born again. You must raise your consciousness beyond physical limitation and awaken to your divinity. And this is pretty much it for this video. I hope you all understand this, that this is all symbolic for consciousness.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Welcome people, we're back with another video, and this video is about Freemasonry and their connection to the Illuminati. Please, as always, to make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to never miss a video. On May the 1st, 1776, the founder of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt, founded this secret organization, and this date can be found in Roman numerals underneath the all-seeing eye pyramid on the $1 bill. This $1 bill also says Anut Coptus Novus Ordo Secularum. This is Latin for announcing the birth of the New World Order. This New World Order will be headed by Lucifer, the all-seeing eye, and followed by the 13 layers of bricks for the 13 elite bloodlines. So your Orsini's, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Soroses, and the other 9 elite families. So when Adam Weishaupt created the Illuminati, he made it consisting of high-level degree Masons, French and Latin philosophers, and many more powerful people to all become one society. So this is why you see Masons using this same symbol of the all-seeing eye inside the pyramid. But not all Freemasons are part of this Illuminati secret society. As the 33rd degree Freemason Manly P. Hall said,
In his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect. So what he's saying here is that Freemasons have to go up the degrees of Freemasonry, and once they hit the top, they either get elected or not into these secret societies like the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, and Knights Templar.
So when you see celebrities doing this one-eye symbolism, either covering one eye, doing the triangle, or doing 666 over one eye, this is showing and reflecting the symbolism of Freemasonry. They have taken the oath to never speak on anything they learn about Freemasonry. Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry book states the oath they have to take. Quote, I ... of my own free will and accord, that I will hail, ever conceal, or never reveal any of the secrets, arts, points of Master Mason's degree to any person whomsoever. All this most solemnly, sincerely promise and swear. Now, this is what happens when they break the oath, stated in this book, quote, myself severed in two, my bowels taken from thence, and burnt to ashes. So this states that Freemasonry comes first, before any law of the land. It has the right to kill you if you break your oath. This is the hand gesture they have to do every time they enter the ritual room inside the Masonic lodge. This is the cutthroat symbol, showing you and reminding you of the oath and what will happen if you break it. Now in this book, Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, it states, if you break your oath, binding myself under no less penalty than to have my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea. If they do not decide to kill you, this book states this by pointing him out to the world as an unworthy vagabond, by opposing his interest, by dearranging his business. In other words, they have the power to frame you and destroy your reputation to the world and destroy your business if you break this oath. So yes, they do kill to keep this truth hidden, because this truth of this reality is what keeps them in power. They have the ability to manipulate people, because people do not know what manipulates them. This is why they call themselves the government. They govern the ment, which is the mentality, because the mind is the root cause of reality. They control what you perceive to control what you manifest. By knowing the truth, you are set free, and you no longer need no controller above you. So this is why they are willing to kill and do whatever it takes to keep the truth concealed within these high-level degrees of masonry and these secret societies.
However, going back to Manly P. Hall's book, it states, part of the symbols are displayed here to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. So this is saying even Freemasons are intentionally misled and told lies to conceal the truth, to make sure the truth is hidden in the high degrees of masonry. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you all for tapping in. Please leave a like and a subscribe. God bless.
Welcome back, people, to another occult lecture by Revival of Wisdom. Today we're going to be talking about magic and how it's being used on us for the New World Order. Magic has the word mag within it, which is magnetism. Magnetism is the force. Magic is influencing forces, natural or supernatural forces, and using it for a certain agenda to gain something out of it. Now, magic is not what everyone's being thought. It's not some sort of fantasy thing. It's actually very common, and we all do it, whether you believe it or not. Magic is all to do with the mind. As I said, always say in my lectures, your mind is what creates matter. Your mind is what creates your external world. So it's all about manipulating and planting seeds within the mind, because your mind is a garden, and thoughts and words are seeds which are being planted in that garden. Your life, your physical life, the people you have in your life, your friends, your car you own, the job you have, is all a reflection of the thoughts that you've been thinking in the past. You are where you are in life because of the thoughts that you've been thinking. Therefore, your life is a direct reflection and manifestation of your mind. The Garden of Eden. Okay? The mind is what they are targeting. What you see, say, and hear has a direct effect on your mind. Me talking to you is influencing you. The words I'm saying is planting seeds within your mind. Now it's up to you to consciously act on these thoughts or these words, or to maintain these words. As above, so below. As within, so without. What's inside of me is outside of me. What comes into the storehouse comes out of the storehouse. You have the left, you have the right, you have the up and you have the down. As above, so below. Whatever is in your mind will be expressed in some sort of way, consciously or subconsciously, spiritually or physically. The mind is what manifests everything. And this is what we need to understand. We need to understand is that the mind is not physical. All things spiritual manifest physical. All things seen come from the unseen. The words you're thinking, that everything you have is coming from the unseen. The actions that you do come from the unseen mind. Another expression for as above, so below is you are the universe itself. You are a universe, a mini universe. But just because you are mini does not mean you are the whole thing. If I take a little piece of infinite, let's say there's an infinite light source. Let's say I take a little chunk of that infinite light source. That little chunk I took is still infinite because it's been taken from infinite. You are the universe. Your awareness, your mind is the universe. It's information. You are the universe experiencing itself. This is why we say we are all God. As above, so below. What is in me is outside of me. The sun, the physical manifestation of the sun, is your soul. The 12 constellations are manifested in the physical body. The 5 elements are manifested in the physical body. They're manifested in the 5 fingers you have. As above, so below. This is manifested, well, this is a symbolized in Freemasonry and secret societies as the 2 pillars. The mirroring reflection, the reflection of reality, the mirror. As above, so below. What happens in the mind, what happens in the astral, happens in the physical. This is Aleister Crowley. This is all symbolism. This is the 2 pillars with the all-seeing eye and the triangle at the top. Aleister Crowley was a master magician. very powerful dark magician, black magician. There's two types of magic. You have white and black, just like the checkered board, the Masonic checkered board. You have white and black. You have good and evil. White magic is influencing natural forces to gain something that will help the collective consciousness, help the collective, help the earth, help other people. Black magic is something you manipulate something so you can get something personal out of it. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's still considered as black magic because you're being selfish. Everything you do should be contributing towards the collective consciousness and helping others. And this is why the ancients lived in a system where everything was in unity. We understood that I am you and you are me. What I do to you happens to me because I am you and you are me. We are the same mind substance on the inside. We're all the same mind substance being expressed in different bodies. So what I do to your mind will have a ripple effect on my mind because all of our minds are connected within the mental plane. So this is why they know all this knowledge. They know all this knowledge. So yeah, this is the mirroring effect of reality, the two pillars, or symbolizes the number 11. The number 11. We'll go deeper into that. The technology we're using is magic. It's a form of magic. Television is tell a vision. They're telling a vision into your subconscious mind, into your memory. And when you turn on the television, you get a program because they're telling a vision to create a program within your subconscious mind. You see, the conscious mind is only 10% of your mind, which is to do with your, what you're aware of, your five senses. What are you consciously aware of? Well, I'm aware I'm here, I'm talking. I'm aware of what I'm wearing, the five senses, what I can hear, taste, smell, hear. What I'm wearing, I'm aware of what I think of. But the subconscious mind is the 90% of your mind. It's the hidden part of the mind, which is telling your heart to beat, telling your body to breathe. It's storing all of your emotions. It's storing everything you see, storing all the belief systems that you have. It has everything. It stores all of the habits you have, the values. It stores everyone's name that you know. All the words that I'm speaking right now is all coming out of the subconscious. Everything is subconscious. And it literally manipulates 90% of your daily basis behavior. Most people don't know this. What you did yesterday is what you will do today because of these beliefs and mental programs within the subconscious, stored within the subconscious. So the subconscious is what they're aiming at. They're trying to create programs within the subconscious because the subconscious manifests 90% of your thought patterns, 90% of your actions and words. They know all this stuff. So the subconscious mind is the most powerful part of the mind. Another way the subconscious manifests and influences your life is, let's say you were in a car crash years and years ago, 10 years ago. Let's say you're in this car crash, right? And you really hurt yourself. The emotion you felt in that time when you were injured in that car crash had a great impression on your subconscious mind. You see, the stronger you feel something emotionally, the stronger impact it has on the subconscious. You can remember and recall that moment and very vividly because of the impact it had on the subconscious. Another, for example, you become that terrified of cars that it manifests into your life today, that you are wary to go in certain cars. You don't want to go in cars at all, maybe, because of that moment that stored within the subconscious. And it will manifest into anxiety. It will manifest into not going into cars. It will manifest into depression, maybe. these things, these emotional, very emotional, traumatic events have a great impression on our subconscious, and they control your life. This is why you need to meditate and let go deep within yourself and let go of these internal, deep emotions that you may have repressed and keep pressing down and ignoring. But you need to address it and let go of these subconscious impressions you have, which are controlling your life, like anxiety, depression. All of these things are stemming from things that are stored within your subconscious years and years ago, more than likely. Broadcasting. They're casting spells to a broad audience. To news, north, east, west, and south. They're casting spells. No, if you watch the news, everything's red. Breaking news in red writing or the red background. Everything's red. Why? Because red's the root chakra, which is all to do with survival. They want to stimulate this root chakra because they want you down there in survival mode. They want you in survival mode because you're easier to control. They control out of fear. And not only, they're casting these spells as if, because most of the things they cast in the news hasn't already happened. They're constantly bombarding you with, there might be a war breaking out, war this, war that, kill here, kill there, murders. It's impressing, it's casting spells on your subconscious mind. So when the event does turn up in real reality, in physical reality, you're less emotional, you're less surprised. You're not as surprised because you've already heard it before. Your subconscious has already heard it all before. If you never heard of a war and then a war broke out, you'd be going crazy. So they subtly program your subconscious mind through the words, because the words they say is impressing your mind. It has an effect on your mind, which will have an effect on your behavior, your words, your conversations you have with people. They're casting spells to north, east, west, and south on the tell a vision. They're telling a vision by broadcasting, by saying spells. This is why we call it spelling. Even the word, listen, the words we say cast spells. Bless. Oh, bless you. That's be less. The subconscious mind only picks up literal things. You see, when I say bless you, your conscious mind picks that up as, oh, thank you, you're blessing me. But your subconscious picks up as be less. You see? Because the subconscious it has no filter. It's just, it is what it is. Everything is factual in the subconscious. Therefore, if I call you an idiot, your subconscious, my subconscious will think I'm talking to myself and calling myself an idiot, and it will take that as true. That is truth. Everything is truth within the subconscious. And the subconscious manifests your behavior. The devices this is the biggest one. Black scrying mirrors. Device, the devil's vice. The device. Okay? Black scrying mirrors, black screen is scrying. Black scrying mirrors were used to communicate with spirits within the astral plane in the medieval times. They're probably they're still being used now by black obsidian mirrors. And look at your phone, it's a black mirror. And there's some sort of, I'm not saying this is fact, but personally I believe these are portals for spirits and ethereal entities to come into your life, to come into your surroundings. So this is the next big thing. The TVs, your iPhone, your iPod, all black mirrors. And mirrors are very, very powerful. Even just a normal mirror. Mirrors have an effect. Whatever you say into a mirror, what you say is energy. And when you say something into a mirror, you're saying it into yourself. It's an infinite cycle of words, of energy. Because it's being reflected infinite times. When you say something into a mirror, it has a massive effect. You're saying it directly into your eyes, into your mind. So what you say in a mirror should be said with precaution. Never say anything negative into a mirror. Because mirrors are very, very powerful ways for you to reprogram your subconscious mind for the good. You can say very positive things into mirrors and it will reprogram your subconscious mind. Okay? Manifesting is all magic. It's all magic. Everything is magic. But consciously doing it is what they're doing. They hid this knowledge. Your phone is magic. It manipulates your mind. The iPhone. Okay? See, magic isn't all of this with wands. See, Harry Potter, okay, that was created to give you this perception of a mystical and amazing form of magic with magic wands and all sorts of stuff like that. Yes, that stuff was true when the collective conscious minds were on a higher level and our belief systems believed in these things, because the universal mind, all of our minds contribute to reality. If the masses don't believe in magic, if the masses don't believe in a certain thing, it's going to have an effect on physical reality. So when the collective minds are higher and have more open minds, things like Harry Potter can come true. See, it's all in the mind. The iPhone, the eye is the symbol for the mind, the invisible intelligence. The triangle is the ethereal plane. Okay? So the eye in the triangle is the eye that sees into beyond the ethereal planes. The square is the physical plane. So the iPhone, your phone, is a black box, just like the Saturn black cube. It's a black mirror. It's taking photos of you every 2 seconds. And it's your mind. Your mind is in that phone. Everything you like, everything you text, everything you type in Google, everything you say to someone, every conversation is all recorded on the phone. Therefore, it is a direct reflection of your mind. Your mind is imprinted into your phone because your mind, everything you think in your mind, you're manifesting into typing, saying, taking pictures into the phone, and it's collecting it and storing it. And what they're doing, and this is for all forms of magic, it's manipulating the mind. It's all manipulating the mind. Reels, Instagram, TikTok, this is all dopamine. It's all controlling the mind. Every like you get, every follow you get, every share that you get is dopamine within your brain. They're literally targeting your brain and mind. It's all manipulating, because what they're pushing through the phones, through the media, through the news, through the televisions, is visions and programs. You are the one manifesting the New World Order. They're not manifesting the New World Order. They're giving you the information so you can manifest the New World Order. Everything they say is contributing to your mind. For example, digital money and all the information they put out for you to see is contributing to your enslavement. Your mind is manifesting the New World Order. They know this. They don't manifest it. There's billions of us. We could easily run over them. physically. But on a mental level, these people have the knowledge and they hide it from us, and they let us manifest reality because we are the collective. They give us the information which manifests their agenda. It's all magic through the phones, the media, the television. So your phone is a manifestation of your mind. It's a record of your mind. Hollywood, holly tree, holy tree. They used to make wands out of holy trees, because it was the most holiest wood, the best for casting and transmitting energy. So they used holly trees to cast spells. That's what Hollywood is. And in Hollywood, they have the red tear, the blood drop, next to the Hollywood sign, because it's all satanic. They're all black magicians. They use Hollywood to cast the spells through the music, through the films. You see, music is a form of magic. All of this is magic. Everything they do is a form of magic, because they want an agenda behind it. But it's not black magic. They're letting us create our prison. This is what you have to see. Yes, they're evil, but they're not doing anything evil, or else they would face the karma. They let us manifest this agenda through giving in the information, by telling you what's going to happen in the movies. Everything that happens in a movie, it's all there on purpose to program your subconscious, to plant a seed within your garden, your subconscious, your mind. Because when the mind has already seen something, when it comes up and turns up in physical reality, you will be less shocked. And you won't rebel. So they lure you slowly. They make you aware of these things over time. They make you gradually think it's okay. Like the technology, we never used to use these phones. How did we become so addicted and reliant on them? Well, because first they gave you a little flick phone. Well, no, sorry, they gave you a phone in your house, and then once you got used to that, they say, "Oh, here's the newest version of a little flick phone." You started texting your friends. Everyone was loving it in high school. They could now meet up without saying, "Let's meet on the weekend at this point at this time," like your parents probably did. Or maybe some of you watching this, you probably had to tell your friend to meet on the weekend at a certain time because you had no way of communicating. So everyone got these phones and got addicted to them. Then they slowly got addicted to the new iPod with the touch screen. Now they invented touch screen, and then everyone got addicted to touch screens. Then because all of this is producing dopamine in the brain, which creates you to become mentally addicted to things, and physically addicted, chemically addicted, because dopamine's a chemical. Your subconscious becomes a program within your subconscious, and your body becomes chemically addicted to these phones. And these phones are the enslavement of humanity, technology. Without this, we wouldn't be in this mess, without technology. Because they're creating a hive mind. We're creating a hive mind. So back on track anyways, they program you. Look at the films, 9/11, all produced by Hollywood. Here's the 11, like I said at the beginning, the two pillars which reflect reality. What happens in the mind happens in the physical. What happens in the astral happens in the physical. Okay, what happens in the physical happens in the mind. It's the two pillars, the mirrors. 9/11. 9 plus 1 is 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. New York is the 11th state. New York adds up to 111. This is not a coincidence. It's all a form of magic. It's a ritual, energy harvesting ritual, because your mind produces energy. Your mental attention produces energy, and they're feeding off this energy in the astral plane, these demons. Music is the most powerful personally, I think the music is one of the most powerful forms of magic they're using. Okay? Music is hypnosis. It puts your brain in a hypnotic state. It influences your electromagnetic field through vibrational energy. It reprograms your subconscious mind. Why do you think you remember the lyrics? You see, your subconscious stores all of the memories. Remember, the subconscious manifests 90% of your behavior. So therefore, the music you're listening to is manifesting your behavior. You wondered why some people wonder why they have drug addictions and they can't get out of violence and they can't get out of all this negative mind space. It's because the music they're listening to is creating a negative mind space. The words you listen to have plant seeds within your mind. So the reason you remember the lyrics is because that song created a program within your subconscious. Yes, that is what happens. You can use magic to reprogram your mind, but you can use music to reprogram your mind because it's all forms of magic. It's using natural mental energy forces to manipulate the physical reality. You manipulate your mind, you manipulate reality, physical reality. Okay? So, the music, another very, very big one. When you turn on the radio, it's just all talks about alcohol, drugs, and sex. Because they want you down in the lower three chakras. They want your mind attached to matter when it's mind over matter. Your mind's not physical. You see, the word spirituality is the new trend. It's not about your spirit. It's not about your spirit. It's about your mind. It's not about, spirituality and looking after your spirit. And they've got you focused on your spirit. Why? Because they hide your mind from you. You see, a lot of people think their mind is their brain, but the mind is everything. There is no physical reality without mind. You can have a brain. Imagine if you had no mind but a brain. It wouldn't work. The mind is everything. The mind controls your avatar. It begins in the mind before it happens in the brain. Then the brain manifests through the body. The brain's just an electrical computer. So that, they've got people scared, or do I have a soul or not, and all this stuff. Listen, if you have a mind, you have a soul, because you are not the mind. This is why everything is sort of an illusion, because beyond the mind is your soul. But what is the soul without a mind? You can't have a soul without the mind. But if the mind didn't exist, the soul doesn't exist. You are the person listening to your mind. I shouldn't say person, because you're not the body. You're the entity behind the mind. But if you didn't have that mind, you couldn't understand what you even were. You would just be an observer who couldn't think. So yes, we all have a soul. If you have a mind, you have a soul. Everything is mind. Everything has mind. Mind creates everything. God is mind. And they're manipulating your mind through TV, your phone, every little thing. The school. It's all about the mind, people. Control your mind, you control your reality. Just the last thing, here you go. Aleister Crowley, the Dark Magician, Kanye West doing the exact same thing because they're implementing magic in the music. Here's the Beatles with Aleister Crowley in the background. Bet you never noticed that. Aleister Crowley was influencing music and placing magic within the music to influence the subconscious. This is what Baal worship was. This is why they kill children. They sacrifice these children. Why? Well, because in order to ascend, in order to raise your consciousness internally, godly, by being good, God, or being in order to be good and raise your consciousness and to get something in the physical world, you have to sacrifice yourself. And what do I mean by that? In order to raise your consciousness and ascend, you have to sacrifice the lower nature of yourself. You know, you got to abstain from having sex to retain your sexual energy, to transmute it, or staying away from negative, poisonous foods like meat. So, staying away from blood. We shouldn't be consuming other animals' blood. We should be keeping our blood pure. We are humans. We shouldn't consume chicken blood, chicken germs. We are the most divine creatures on this creation. We are the most intellectual creatures in this creation. Therefore, we should keep our temples pure. We are not animals. If you want to associate yourself with an animal, go out in the wild, go and find a wild boar, and go and try rip its guts out with your bare teeth, because you can't do it. You're not a cat. You're not a carnivore. Okay? So in order to ascend, you have to kill and sacrifice your lower part of yourself to ascend up to your spirit self, your mind self, the highest version. And the elites don't want to do this. So they sacrifice other things like babies to kill them, to exchange their life over to the astral plane, so these demigods in the astral plane can give them something in return in physical. They don't want to sacrifice their lower self, so they sacrifice other things for exchange, for physical pleasure. But the godly person sacrifices their lower self for their higher self to do good and ascend. So this is what all the Baal worship is, people, and this is why they're doing it. Hope you all had an amazing lecture. If you haven't already, go and get the Book of Wisdom for more information. You know, I don't go into dark stuff in this book, because all I do is enlighten people in this book. You can get it in Spanish, English, German, Italian, and French. Worldwide shipping. You can get the PDF or paperback. Or there is also a new one called the Human Health Guide 2.0. It gives you a list of all the foods, grains, oils, and nuts, you know, everything that's alkaline and positive for the body and not man-made and hybrid. It tells you all the products to stay away from, how to fast, how to improve vision, how to improve everything, literally. So the Human Health Guide has been released. If you want that, I'll put all the links in the bottom in the description. Hope you all enjoyed the lecture, people. God bless you all. In this video, we're going to be talking about the evolution of consciousness. You are born human, however you possess consciousness, which is the awareness behind your being, the awareness behind your thoughts, the experiencer behind your five senses, the experiencer, the observer behind your thought, emotions, and senses. You are an eye, an invisible consciousness looking through a lens, which is your body. Your body produces this physical world that you experience. Your brain produces this world. Your brain and body is a technological computer. However, you are an infinite, ever-expanding consciousness behind this physical body. And there is an evolution of consciousness, a cosmic journey of expansion. And this is why we see so much pyramid symbolism in the occult and esoteric world, and especially within Freemasonry. Because the pyramid represents climbing, an evolution, a raising state of consciousness, a journey. Steps symbolize a journey upwards. This is the raising and the evolution of consciousness, our inner world. The transmutation of our inner selves, of our souls and consciousness and our minds. So when we see this pyramid, we're seeing a evolution, a way up to source consciousness. And the eye in the pyramid represents your source consciousness. It represents illumination. It represents divine guidance through this evolution of consciousness. This is why we see the ladder. Consciousness is ever expanding on an infinite journey of evolution. Each individual is a part of this cosmic process, contributing towards the ongoing expansion of both mind and awareness. As we evolve, we collectively explore deeper levels of existence, expanding the boundaries of thought and consciousness. The mind has the ability to expand infinitely into new realms of thought, into new dimensions of mind. The mind cannot be filled up. It is not a physical substance. The body can be filled up because it is a physical thing, but you cannot fill the mind. Therefore, the mind is constantly expanding, ever expanding into new fields of thought. So what we see in Freemasonry, the ladder, is again a journey, an elevation of consciousness. When we are born with an infant consciousness, and as we gain older, we gain an adult consciousness. Our inner world, our inner mind, and our emotional intellect changes and evolves. We are significantly different from when we were very young as an infant. It's because our consciousness evolutes, it changes, it alters like water. So, just like this evolution of your own consciousness as growing up, there is consciousness of beings existing in cycles beyond our own. And their consciousness is unimaginably different from ours. They operate on a higher level of understanding and knowing, experiencing reality in ways that transcend our current comprehension. Our minds right now cannot comprehend the highest states of consciousness. There are entities, there are beings beyond our own, existing in higher dimensions of consciousness that we cannot comprehend because they have expanded. They are on a further way up the ladder of consciousness. However, we are all on the same journey. None of us can take the same journey. There is one ultimate goal, reaching source consciousness. However, this is always ever expanding. However, we are all on a different journey. There is one truth, one source, one goal. However, there are billions in different ways of reaching it, and we are all on these different paths to source consciousness, to this ladder, this evolution of universal evolution. Okay? Their awareness is attuned to new dimensions of existence, reflecting a more advanced stage in the cosmic journey of consciousness evolution. So when you take DMT, you are shot into these higher realms of consciousness where you meet these beings who look similar to these images. They are not speaking to you physically. They don't speak to you three-dimensionally through vibration and words. They speak to you mentally. If you have done DMT, then you know this. And if you have met these beings, then you know this. You might have even met some of these types of beings on mushrooms or any psychedelic drugs. Because ultimately, when you take these mind-altering substances, it's altering your consciousness. It's merging your consciousness with the spirit of that substance. And you are essentially attuning your mind to higher dimensions of consciousness. That's why we say we're getting high when we take these substances. Therefore, when you meet these beings on DMT, you are essentially meeting beings who are attuned to higher dimensions of consciousness, and they speak to you mentally. They speak to you telepathically through thought, because the universe is mental. Everything exists within the mind. The way you are now, your physical existence, is a state of mind. Mind, thought creates matter. Spirit and matter are two opposing ways of thinking. If we have a very spiritual mind, we have an expanded mind, we are a spiritual person through the mind. However, if we have a very low state of consciousness where we think about food, sex, lust, and all physical things, then we have a physical consciousness. Matter and spirit are two opposing forces, two ways of thinking. The mind attunes itself to different levels of understanding in different dimensions. So, essentially, this is what we're looking at. The body is a vessel for the fluidic, formless consciousness, a temple that houses the essence of our awareness. While the five senses are limited to perceiving only the physical plane, the mind transcends these limitations, capable of perceiving the full scope of reality. It is through the mind that we access deeper truths beyond the material, tapping into boundless nature of existence. Physical existence is a thin band, a thin layer of reality. It's like 0.001% of reality. And your five senses are only tuned into this layer of reality. But the five senses are, by design, only allowed to perceive physicality. But the mind has the power to expand beyond this physical five sense state. The mind has the power to expand and evolute. It is a conscious decision whether you want to take this path or not. You can stay in a three-dimensional way of thinking, or you can expand your consciousness from within. It's not an external journey. There is no God going to save you. You must save yourself. Therefore, behind every single one of these eyes is the same source consciousness. However, we are all different cells in a different journey. The organs in your body, the cells in your body are all alive. They all possess same consciousness, universal consciousness. However, we are all on a different journey of evolution. As above, so below. As the baby is in the mother's womb, when the baby becomes conscious, there is a world outside of its mother. What does it do? It presses and seeks a way out to be born in the other world outside of its mother. It is the same with your consciousness, your mind. When your mind becomes aware that there is realities beyond the immediate surroundings, it seeks a way out. And this is exactly what I'm doing to you now. I am now expanding your mind and telling you there is other ways of reality. There is other dimensions of consciousness which you can access through inner transmutation, through different ways of thinking, spiritualism and meditating and connecting with yourself and detaching from external things. We can upgrade our consciousness. Your body is a womb. Why Jesus says you must be born again to see the kingdom of God, because you are born physically and then you must be born again spiritually, awakening your inner consciousness. So like I said, as the baby is in the womb, it's the same principle. As above, so below. You were a baby, you were in your mother's womb, and you figured out there is a world outside of your mother, so you seek to way out your mother to be born in another world. It's the same now. You must do this now. This is your spiritual evolution. This is the evolution of consciousness. It's ever expanding. When you die, this is a transition. You must learn to not fear death. This is another part of your spiritual journey. You must master death. Therefore, like I said before, the mind has limitless capacity to expand into new realms of thought, continuously exploring uncharted ideas and concepts without boundaries. The mind can ever expand, it can never be filled, it can never ever know everything. There is infinite fields of knowledge, infinite fields of thought. Your current state is just one stage on an infinite pathway. You won't remain human forever. The human experience is a crucial phase where we learn to balance polarities, master the fundamental laws of the cosmos. It is a period of growth and transformation, preparing us for the next stages in our cosmic evolution. The goal is to strive for perfection, yet the true perfection is unattainable. It's like a tunnel, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And as you walk through this tunnel, the light is ever moving backwards. You should forever seek to meet that light, but you will never meet that light because consciousness is ever expanding. You should strive for perfection, yet knowing that perfection is forever unattainable. The journey is endless, with each step revealing deeper layers of understanding and experience. The pursuit of growth and expansion is itself the essence of our evolution. You can find all of this knowledge in the amazing book that I have read for years. I have read this book, The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, by M. Dorial, translated by M. Dorial. I'm telling you now, this book, now that I've told you this, you have some context on the book. The whole book is about evolution of consciousness. He's talking about higher dimensions beings. He's talking about how you can transcend this physical plane. It is truly the most amazing book you will probably read. One of the best spiritual texts you'll see. It's hard to understand, so you must read it over and over again. And the more your mind progresses, like for me, I read this every couple months, and the more I learn about consciousness, the more I expand my own consciousness. And every time I read this book, I pick out something new that just completely blows my mind, because you can only understand this book to your level of consciousness, to your level of understanding. So now that I've told you all this information, go and read this book and it will absolutely blow your mind. And so will the Book of Wisdom Volume 2, which is now available. I released it the other day. I'm just going to read a page out now. This page is called Spirit and Matter. The Earth is not merely a dense, lifeless rock drifting through space. It possesses spirit, a living essence that animates its form. But what do we mean by spirit? Spirit in esoteric terms refers to the energy, the life force, animating the principles infused in matter. So essentially, what this page is talking about is how everything has spirit, consciousness within it. You are the middle, you are spirit and matter. You have the ability to expand your mind to the God self and raise above our animal instinct, our material self, and know the divine and expand. Animals cannot do this. Animals are not self-aware. Humans possess self-awareness. We can observe our consciousness. We can say, why do I exist? We can look in the mirror and know that we need growth. And this is what Anunnaki means. Anu means above. Anu was the supreme god of the sky, which is a metaphor. He represents spirit above, heaven. Anu came down to earth and married Ki, the goddess of the earth, which represents matter. It's a myth, it's an allegory. Anu married Ki and gave birth to the Anunnaki. Spirit came down and infused with matter and gave birth to the human, which is you. You are spirit infused in matter, Anu and Ki, Anunnaki. You are the Anunnaki. And this is just one of the teachings in my book. Honestly, this book is absolutely amazing. If you truly, truly want to expand your consciousness, give this book a read. And obviously, if you're inside the university, I give you this book for free. A paperback version. If you join the university, follow the steps inside of the general chat, you'll be able to download this book. Not download it. Order a paperback for free. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. You'll also gain amazing knowledge inside of my library, where your mind will just be overblown with the amount of esoteric books. There's over 45 rare occult books, plus you get a PDF of the Volume 1 and Human Health Guide. You get reoccurring updates where I expand on symbolism, occultism, where you will just feel absolutely amazing once you understand esotericism in yourself. You'll also learn how to create the dream reality that you want with the Manifestation Mastery course, where I teach you how your consciousness creates reality. You'll have a real lectures where I post lectures on symbolism, occultism, esotericism. There's a conscious community and live calls and Q&A where you can ask me questions and I'll answer your questions. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined the university. Thank you for even liking and watching this video. Any support I can I just appreciate every single one of you. Please, if you can, leave a comment and a like on this video, and let me know any videos you want me to make in the future. And I will start uploading a lot more to the YouTube. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in today. Have an amazing day. What is good, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the astral plane and how the cosmology fits into the astral plane. Okay, so first let's go over the astral plane and go over the different layers of reality so that you can understand reality more. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are not in these, you are in all of these realities at the same time. They all interweave into one big reality. But there are different planes. They are different vibrational dimensions. There are different dimensions of reality. The mind is the root cause of reality. We're living in the mind of God. Everything is being thought into existence from the root cause, from the universal mind. This is why the ancient Egyptians said, all is mind. We're living in the mind of God. And we are a microcosm of this mind. This is why we all have the same mind. This mind is the world of thoughts. Now, this world of thoughts is just the thought alone. For example, it is the thought of a chair. But then when you start to imagine this chair and you start to mentally see the chair, you're now manifesting the thought, the singular thought, into some sort of form. So now you're imagining the chair. You're imagining the form of this chair, which is then manifesting into the astral plane. The astral plane is the world of thought forms manifesting. So when you are imagining something, you are seeing into the astral plane. Okay? Your third eye, it is an eye because it sees the astral plane. It is seeing the other side through imagination, through dreaming. Well, we'll go over dreaming later. So, the thought of a chair is a singular thought. The imagination of the chair is the manifestation of the chair. And in the astral plane, it's basically the world of all the chairs that could ever exist. So you're thinking of the chair as a singular thought, which is the mental plane. The astral plane is the imagination of that chair, is the thought, the manifestation of it. Depending on the vibrational state of the thought will depend what level of the astral plane it will go to. For example, if you're thinking about a chair to torture someone on it, it's going to go on the lower astral plane. Or if you're thinking and imagining happy things, it's going to go to the higher astral plane. So wherever your mindset is, that we call it a mindset because your mind is setting frequencies to certain things. Thoughts are frequencies. And a mindset is setting your frequency. Setting your mind to a certain frequency. So when you set your mind to a certain frequency and you imagine something in that frequency, you're going to match everything in the astral plane that are on that similar frequency, just like you would in the physical world. Because we're all in these worlds right now as we speak, but we can't see them with the two physical eyes. We can feel it though. When you're around someone and you've just met a new person, for example, you can feel their vibration, and if you're not on a similar vibrational match, you will not get along with that person, or you just won't not get along, but you won't connect with that person because you're on two opposing frequencies, not matching. And this is something you can't see, you can only feel, because it's the astral plane. It exists within the astral plane. Everything in the astral plane is made out of vibrations. So if you do astral project, and if you already know how to astral project, you will see beings and people and things that are on the same frequency as you. This is why before you astral project, you need to sort your vibration out before you astral project, because you are projecting your consciousness into this. It's the mind. The mind is the bridge. It can move between realities. You are a observer. You are a observing soul which observes different realities. And the mind is the bridge between all of these different realities. The mind can choose. If you want to project into the astral, you set your mind to it, you can. Okay? So, let's not get off track. The lower astral plane is where demons are. The higher astral plane is where heavenly beings are. Heaven and hell are kind of a real thing. The etheric plane is a powerful substance. The ether. The fifth element that they don't tell us about. If you type in on Google the 5 elements, they will try to remove it with wood or metal, because they don't want you knowing about the ether. Ether is the energy double behind all physical objects. So the ether is very important. It is the 5th element. It is part of the physical world, but it's also part of the astral world. It is on either side. You see how they're showing you the truth in the language? Ether and either are the same word. The ether has 1 foot in the astral and 1 foot in the physical world. It's a substance that connects the physical to the astral world. It is the either. It's on either side of reality. It's on the other side. Other, either, same word. Ether is connecting the physical to the astral plane. It's the world of frequency. Frequencies, EMFs, torus fields are in the etheric plane. It is the energy plane. It's where energy moves through the ether. Okay? So then you have the physical world, the world of effect. Everything you see in the physical world is the effect of the higher planes. Each plane is a product of the plane above. So, and it melts into each plane. The physical plane is the lowest plane, it's the most densest, and the highest is the most fluid. This is the most fluid, this is the most dense. This is where we get the saying, as above, so below from. As above, so below comes from the different planes of reality. And magicians understand this. This is why magicians always say as above, so below. Because they understand if you manipulate the higher planes of reality, you manipulate the lower planes. Because the astral plane is a direct copy of the physical world, but in the astral plane. It is mirrored. The physical world is mirrored in the astral plane. They are both the same world, but just different vibrational states of the world. Kind of. It's hard to put this in words, people, so just try and understand. The astral plane is the double. It is whatever happens in the astral plane happens in the physical plane. This is why magic works. This is why demons work. This is why spirit communication works. Because if you manipulate the higher planes, you manipulate the lower planes. As above in the astral, so below. Leonardo da Vinci showing you to look up, pointing up. You gotta look up. He's telling you to change the mind, you change the physical world. You change your emotions, you're on the astral plane, you change the physical world. You change your reality by changing the higher planes. This is the Masonic 11. The 2 pillars. This is the 11 also symbolizing the 2 hemispheres of the brain here. But the 11 symbolizes the 2 mirrors. 11. 11. 9, 11. 9, 11 adds to 11. 9 plus 1 plus 1 equals 11. The Twin Towers were an 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. because it's a mass ritual within the astral plane. Now, we're going to go deep into that later, and I'll show you these rituals they do in order to manipulate the astral plane. So, this is what the 11 is. It's the mirroring of reality. If you contact spirits and conjure spirits, you can either summon or attract demons and spirits. Summoning is creating a spirit. You create demons. Okay? Like I said here, the mind is the root cause of reality. If you think of if you think of a traumatic event that happened in your life over and over and over and over again for years and years and years, where attention goes, energy flows. The mind is the director of energy. If you are directing energy into the specific emotion, the specific thing that is torturing you in your mind, that will manifest as some sort of being in the astral plane, which is called an elemental. And this elemental being that you have created through your thought forms and emotions will latch onto you and feed off this energy. So it's important that you get your mind right, okay? It's important you sort that you file the mind and you discipline the mind. Make sure it's only entertaining positive things, because you are quite literally creating your own demons. The word demon has the word mon in it, and if you've watched my videos, you know mon means moon. The moon is your mind, the sun is your soul, the earth is your physical body. Demon is mon means mind, moon is mind. You create demons with your mind. Summoning. Now this is where the rituals come in. 9/11 was a ritual because everyone was thinking about this big fearing, the death of 9/11. Everyone was thinking about it, and all of their minds thinking about this horrific thing will manifest and summon a negative energy spirit elemental within the astral plane. That's how all of this works. This is why it was a mass ritual. Okay, Chris Brown, new album name 11/11, release date on the 11/11. This will be my 11th album and contain 11 songs. All of these people know the occult. This is Hermes Trismegistus with the star of Saturn, the six-pointed star, as above, so below. The mirroring of reality, physical and astral, the two Masonic pillars. So, as above, so below. What's above us? The stars. The stars are connected to the astral plane. This is why we call them stargates. When we dream, we are experiencing these different realities. And what are stars? They tell, in the Bible, it says Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs." Signs translates to things to come. Why things to come? The stars tell the future. Why? And why do we say as above, so below? As above us is the astral plane and the etheric plane. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the stars happens on Earth. The stars are connected to the astral plane. Above us is the astral plane. We are a star in a physical body. This is why we say Mr., Sister, stir equals star. The E and the A are interchangeable. We are stars. And the stars are the start of our incarnation. We start in the stars, same root word, and we descend through the 7 energies, which are our 7 chakras. Then we enter the heart of the soul system. Heart rearranged spells Earth, and this is the true cosmology. Here's the Masonic cosmology. This is Masonic now. Here's the firmament. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters to divide the waters from above from the waters that below. Genesis 1:6. The firmament, firmament comes from the word firma, Latin, I'm pretty sure. Which means firm, when something is firm, meaning it's stable, it does not move, it is firm. The firmament is firm. So, is the firmament Genesis 1:6? What does he say? Genesis 1:3, sorry. Let there be light. This is before the sun and the moon was created. Let there be light. Before the sun and the moon was created, light was appeared. So what's that tell you? This is a holographic projection from some sort of light being, some sort of projector. And that projector is the all-seeing eye you see in the Masonic cosmology. This is the all-seeing eye projecting the light beams. Let there be light. Everything is made out of light. The universe is created out of light waves. The torus field is one unit of light. The light projecting this reality is Polaris. Okay, the famous all-seeing eye. Now, what else? Then we have after let there be light in Genesis 1:16, and God made the two great lights. This is the sun and the moon, electric, magnetic, male and female. Then we have the Masonic checkerboard, the black and white symbolizing dualities within the dualistic reality we're in, spirit and matter, light and matter, rest and motion, positive and negative, good and evil. Everything's dualistic here. Okay? And it's a dance. The universe is a dance between flickering of white and black light, which is the torus field. We're not going to go over that, but this is all connected to the astral plane. This is the true cosmology. The astral plane cannot work on a spinning monkey ball in the middle of space. Does not work. Cannot work. It's impossible. Okay? Impossible. So, even in the Quran, it says, Allah has made the earth for you as a carpet, flat. Quran 15:19. And the earth we have spread out like a carpet, set there on mountains, firm and immovable. It is immovable. In the Quran, it also says 65:12, it is Allah who has created the seven heavens of the earth. The seven heavens meaning the seven layers of heaven, the seven planets. And Psalms 104:5, he set the earth on its foundations and it can never be moved. Never. So here you see in Isaiah 40:22, he sits enthroned above the circle of the earth and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. We live in a tent. This is the tent. The projection of light. Here you see an ancient picture here. Here you see the ethereal barrier, meaning the firmament, the etheric barrier. And here you see his head popping out. Why is his head popping out? Because your head is heaven. Your heel is hell. Your head has access to the astral plane. This is why your head is heaven. The pineal gland, when stimulated, has access to project itself, project consciousness into the astral plane. Here you see another ancient picture here with the Masonic Royal Arch, with the zodiac here, the zodiac on the top, arching, because there's a firmament above us. Here's God in the brain. Consciousness is God. Here you see the Masonic Royal Arch, symbolizing the firmament. George Washington above the Masonic Royal Arch. These are the stars. This is Polaris projecting reality. Here's ancient churches with the dome. Polaris projecting reality with Jesus. Disney World is under the dome. The seven layers of heaven, ancient paintings, all depict the if you go and look at the ancient paintings, they'll all depict the firmament, the arch above us. This is where we get interesting. The Masonic Royal Arch has the 6-9, which is Cancer. The constellation Cancer, which is 6-9 is associated with portals, because CERN is the 6-9. Okay, CERN is opening portals. They're trying to create a portal to the other side. Cancer has the word CERN within it. So there is a link between Cancer and the opening, the firmament opening above us to ascension. Here you see the Masonic art with the Royal Arch and the light and the opening. Here you see the light and the opening. This is the opening of the firmament. Here's the Hebrew cosmology with Sheol, the underworld, and the opening. So Cancer is definitely some sort of portal in and out of this reality. I'm just connecting dots here. Now, we're going to go change a bit now. These celebrities that you are seeing they have not sold their soul to Satan, okay? They have not sold their soul to Satan. Satan is a demonic, low vibrational energy that has been summoned over the thousands and thousands and thousands of years of evil occult arts. So since Babylon was summoning this demonic energy, and this demonic energy in the astral plane will grow and grow and grow. It has no form. It has no physical form. Okay? But you can see it in the rappers. If your third eye is open, you can see clearly that these people are demonic. You can sense the energy that they're manifesting. Selling your soul is not what you've been told. It is gaining, because your soul is pure love, okay? Your soul does not want to do anything bad. So when you sell your soul, you're gaining physical gain, you're gaining physical wealth, for example, like for these rappers. They will be given millions of pounds because the people in control of the music industry, which is the dark occultists trying to brainwash the masses, the people in charge, they're dark occultists. They understand Satan and the energy. They are satanic energy, which has been summoned in the astral plane. They see that they have influence over the masses, so they will go to them and say, I will give you this amount of money forever if you manifest this satanic demonic energy through the music and through social media to blind the masses, to brainwash the masses into this demonic energy. Because when you listen to music is frequency. Whatever you listen to, you become that frequency. So if you're listening to these people, they're throwing energy, this demonic satanic energy that they sold out to. Soul, same word. When you sold something, you've got your soul involved. They have exchanged money, physical gain, so that they manifest this satanic energy within the astral plane and through the music, through the videos, through social media, to keep us in this vibrational frequency, in this low state of consciousness. This is what it actually is. It's not, you're not selling your soul to some sort of devil. This satanic energy has no physical form it is formless in the astral plane. It's a summoned energy. Now, the root chakra is red. This is why the devil is red, because it symbolizes the animal nature of man. When you are operating off your root chakra, you will kill, you will fight, you will do anything to survive, because it's all about survival mode in the root chakra. They want you keeping in that fighting mode, that surviving mode, so that you are manifesting this low vibrational frequency, this satanic energy, this demonic red energy. This is why the devil is red. And the devil has a tail with the red arrow pointing down, because it symbolizes your light body. This is your Merkaba. Your Merkaba is your light body. Mer equals light, Ka equals spirit, Ba equals body. Merkaba, this is the devil's tail pointing down, the descension, your heel, up to your heel, hell. Ascension to heaven, head. You see, This is the all-seeing eye with the illumination coming off it. Your head, when you're illuminated. The Merkaba is your celestial sphere to portray different planes of reality. It is the vehicle of ascension. It's your light body. It's in the word Kabbalah. Kabbalah. Ka, spirit. Ba, body. La, light. Same thing. Kabbalah. Merkaba. Same thing. It's all about the light body. This light body sees different realities. So when you see the goat in the music industry, it's this satanic summoned energy that's been summoning for thousands of years within the astral plane. When it becomes to the physical plane, it will manifest through different things. A goat, an owl, Satan, Moloch, Baal, same deity, same demonic energy that's been summoning in the astral plane. And this is why the Baphomet has a goat head. Drake's new album is the goat. The Polo G, the Masonic G, with the goat. And here's Ryla Rodriguez in the mirror, with the goat in the mirror and him in his physical body. It symbolizes, the mirror symbolizes the astral plane, because he's manifesting the goat, the demonic energy. He's sold out to the demonic energy, and in the physical plane, he's his physical body. The mirroring, the Masonic 11, the mirroring of reality, the astral and the physical. And what do you call them when they're an amazing rapper, the best rapper? You call them the goat, because the goat, you're the goat because you're manifesting the goat energy, this satanic, demonic energy within the astral plane. So Baal, Moloch, all the same thing. Because in the astral plane, if you want to gain spirits to come to you and communicate you, in the physical world, if you want to communicate with spirits, you have to gain their attention. You can either gain their attention or come together and agree to create some sort of being, which is Satan. Okay? You can, like I said earlier, you can create these beings, you can summon them or attract them. One way to attract them is sacrificing. In order for you to become God, man, to turn to God, you have to sacrifice your life. You have to sacrifice, not drinking, not doing things, not doing anything demonic, not doing anything bad, not eating meat. You have to sacrifice yourself to become the light. However, if you want quick, instant gains in the physical world, you can sacrifice something else to communicate with these spirits, because these demonic energies feed off demonic energy, your demonic energy. So these dark occultists will give away babies, they'll sacrifice, torture babies so that they gain, so that they can communicate with these spirits for physical exchange. Yes, you can do this. These powerful spirits, these powerful demons can give you powers. They can give you certain things. And this is what they are doing. They're summoning and attracting these demonic energy. This is why, trafficking is one of the most, Balenciaga. Baal is the demonic energy in the astral plane, which requires child sacrifice for his presence. Balenciaga, and they were trafficking children. They were trafficking, killing them, and offering them to the spirits. This is what they are doing. Balenciaga. It's in the name. Here you see, you can see here a stick man with two horns. The goat, obviously, it's all the same deity. Baal, the goat. Moloch, is Moloch the owl, the Egyptian owl? Because it comes from the owl of Moloch, which is Baal, which is Satan, all the same demonic energy. And it's on the dollar bill, a tiny dollar bill, tiny, on the $1 bill. All the same thing. Bohemian Grove, they worship the big owl, Moloch. It's all the same thing. It's all one big demonic energy which has been summoning in the astral plane. And it's trying to take over Earth, the physical plane. That's what it's doing. So I hope you all gained a deeper understanding of the astral plane and what's actually going on in the world. Please leave a comment if you can to help the algorithm. Drop a like if you like this content. And hope you all learned something today. And God bless you all. Thank you all.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
That's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Hey y'all, I'm finna sell my soul. I'ma hit y'all when I'm